Alright, today I'm going to be taking a look at Gaia. Adam Goodrich has made this asset and I'm going to be reviewing it. I have no experience with it. The only exposure I've had is reading the description here on the page. I've looked at some of the YouTube videos demonstrating it, but I haven't had any experience using it, installing it, configuring it, or doing anything with it. So this is going to be kind of an unboxing thing to where I'm going to take a look at it and see what it takes to learn it. So hopefully it'll give you a good idea of what it takes to use it for the first time as well. So I have already got it and I'm going to come and download it now. I will keep track of how long it takes to download and I'll be right back. Okay, my download is complete. Took me a little longer than I thought, but it's because I'm on a crummy DSL connection at home, so the connection speed isn't that great. So I have a new Unity project, and I have downloaded Gaia, and I'm going to import it. And let's let it decompress. So just going to skim through what's in here real quick. I always like to just kind of take a look at what's being installed, get a feel for things like standard assets, but since I have a new project here, I'm not really too concerned about it, but just wanted to look at their folder layout. So third-party samples, data, documentation, mask, materials, prefix, scripts, and stamps. Okay, let's install all the things. Okay, Gaia has finished installing in my project, and we're going to start taking a look at what we need to do. First thing I notice is I've got some warnings about speed tree, materials need to be regenerated. Not too concerned about that. I'm going to close my asset store tab. Go ahead and close my animator tab so I get my scene in my game. Go to the projects view and let's take a look at what Gaia gives us. So we got a root folder and we get our third party. So I read that 3D Forge put some of their models in. There's some speed tree and some other goodies in there. Some miscellaneous Unity assets for configuration, I suppose. Okay, so we can take a look at the release notes. Okay, well, that's all there. I'm going to go ahead and open this up for reference. Go down to reasonable percentage view. Okay. Yep, there's the warning we saw. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to Gaia, third-party sampler speed tree for each of the speed trees. Okay, let's just do that. So we want to go to this guy and apply and regenerate material. Interesting. Okay. There's another desktop. Let's regenerate that one. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with SpeedTree. I would assume that most of us do. Okay, so that should clear out any of the errors that we were seeing before. Okay, so we'll come back and just take a quick peek through here. Alright, so let's import the characters package, and we're going to import the effects package. We'll just give it everything that it asks for. While it's doing that, I'm going to come back here. So we're going to import the effects package. Then we'll import environment. And we don't want to do speed tree when we do environment. Okay. So let's do the effects package first. We'll take all of these. And then next we're going to do environment, like it said, except we're going to omit speed tree, if I read that correctly. Unselect speed tree directory, we already have the latest version, okay. So we will not be taking speed tree. Okay, so we'll import the rest. Okay. All right. So we've got a couple of options. We can do the just do it. We create a new scene, open the Gaia, select advanced tab. What's our other option? Option 2, let me do it. Okay. Okay. All right, so option 1 seems to be a bit more automated, where option 2 is a bit more manual. So let's go through option 1 and see what we get. Create a new scene. All right, I've got a new scene. And then we're going to bring up the Gaia manager. So we'll go to Unity, Control G, no, I suppose Apple G. Okay. All right, and he said go to Advanced, and then select, and then click on Show Session Manager. Okay, Advanced. Show Session Manager. Okay, so I see that it's given me, in my hierarchy, we have Gaia, and we have a Session Manager, and where's my window? I'm going to go ahead and dock this just so I have it handy, and for now, just give it a little space there. Okay, so we've got our Session Manager. Okay. Click the Random to Arrange Generator box to show it, and then click Add Stamps. Okay. Random to Arrange Generator, and then Add Stamps. Okay, so it looks like Gaia's doing something. So it looks like we've got a lot of options for how the engine that does the randomness will work. So we've got hill and island chances, height scale. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what Gaia created for us. So we've got some type of volumetric bounding box here, and we get down to it, get a pretty vanilla looking dune-ish type of environment. You know, I'm going to turn off my lighting, my baked lighting, because that is eating up my CPU right now. So let me just turn that off and save some performance. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look. Yeah, that looks like what we got. Yep. Now click play session. Alright, play session. Okay, so it's running through and doing some stuff. Oh, okay. So now we get, oh, very cool. So we got some flavor to our cookies here. Okay, so that, oh, it's still going. Okay, okay, that's cool. Oh, that's neat. So it's just kind of iterating through some cycles here. Finished session. Okay, that's cool. So it's created us a kind of hilly looking arid desert terrain. Okay. This one's very, let's try again. Okay, so we're going to flatten terrain and then click reset session and add stamps and play again. Okay, so we go to our session manager, terrain helper. Make sure I read that right. Terrain helper, show the terrain helper, and then click on flatten terrain and then click reset session. Okay, so here's flatten terrain. Yeah. And then we'll reset session. Yeah. Add stamps and play again. Okay. We'll add stamps. And it's going to start thinking. And we're going to click play again. Yes. All right, so we're going to make some more hills again. Okay. Okay. So we got a different terrain this time. Okay. Don't be afraid to roll out a few different sessions up. Okay. So we're going to go back to the standard tab in Gaia Manager and create spawners and then click spawn. Okay. Standard, create spawners. And click spawn in the selected spawn. Okay. So, okay, this is going to be coverage texture spawner. So I assume, and I don't know, but I assume it's going to be doing some splat map type stuff to give us some different type of foliage and such on the terrain. And we'll take a look. Probably going to add some trees, but it's doing the texture work right now. I'm curious if this is a CPU or GPU related set of instructions that are running right now. I would assume it's CPU, as it would be mighty difficult to get the Unity UI to give you access to the GPU to do this kind of stuff. But if that was something that was able to be done, that would be pretty amazing. Okay, so let's just let this finish up. Oh, cool. Oh, very cool. So we've got, oh, looks like Unity needs some time to think. Okay. Oh, it's not done. Okay. Oh, wow. Very cool. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. I mean, that's got to be running standard shader to get that type of specularity happening. I'm like, oh, that's gorgeous. I mean, the terrain is just very convincing. Kind of zoom in on the detail here. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's just, for a procedural system, that's mighty impressive. I guess we got some speed tree happening here. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of speed tree. I mean, I know it's one of those, it's what we've got, so we have to use it type of things, but it's just never really been that impressive to me. Maybe. Okay, so we're back. Got finished baking out all of the terrain, so I'm going to just kind of zoom around a bit and look at what it gave us. So it put some nice grass and foliage and flowers in. That's very nice. Just astonished at the procedural detail that it went through to make all of this. For the most part, it looks like it also obeyed maybe some of the terrain rules for the tree placement. So like, you know, you're not getting trees out here in this very arid region, and for the most part you're not getting them up on the real rocky parts either. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool that he does that. Alright, so let's see what the README wants us to do next. Okay. Yeah, so we had to wait a while. Alright. Alright, so we're going to do create player, water, wind, and screenshot. Alright, so we'll go back to here. Alright. Okay. We did that. Then select the GX menu procedural. Click set linear deferred lighting. Okay. Select the GX menu. Alright. Procedural worlds, and then click. Okay, I don't have that. Set linear deferred lighting, click generate camera. Okay, so it looks like I don't have this piece. Okay, well, I know how to do this first part, so let's just go to our player settings, and let's switch over to deferred, and go ahead and switch over to linear color. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to do those last two pieces, but let's just give it a quick play real quick and see what we get. Okay, so we're in play mode. Oh, yeah, there we go. So you may be seeing a bit of jittering, and that's because I'm recording with QuickTime right now. But I mean, it's a pretty convincing terrain. I mean, I'm sure I could have gone back and tweaked out a bunch of the properties to, you know, really specify what I wanted my terrain to be. But yeah, this is really impressive. I mean, as far as procedural terrains go, and you know, randomizing, I'm very impressed by how intelligent the system is for putting things in the right places that they should be. This is it's very nice. You know, I'd imagine, you know, once I slap some post-processing effects on this, you know, put some bloom on it and things like that, and maybe put a different sky system in, this would be a pretty amazing looking scene just from the get-go. What's over here? Do we have some water? Oh, nice. Nice little water system going. Good job. What was that? Some weird darkness happening in the caustics there. I guess that's just the waves. Oh, very cool. All right, so let's go back to here and see. Take a screenshot. Okay, very cool. Okay. Okay. So I assume here in option 2, we're going to be doing it more manually. So we'll go in and actually work with, oh cool, okay, so we'll be working with bringing our own images in, and I think this is where the stamps are going to come into play. Alright, so I'm going to take a break here and okay, so I'm back and we are going to go through the steps to do a scene manually. So I'm going to go back to Unity because the first thing I want to do is make a new scene. So I'm going to save this scene off. Just call it test. There we go. Alright, so we're going to do a new scene. Okay, and let's go back to our docs. So we're going to bring up the Gaia manager. Okay, so Command G. Alright. Now click one. So we're going to do stamper. Okay, so I guess we need to be under standard. Yep, okay. And then we want to browse to Valley 3 in the Gaia Stamps Valleys directory. Okay, so let's go to our directory. This will be under stamps. Make sure I read that path right. The Gaia Stamps Valleys directory. Okay. Valley 3. So we'll drag that here. Okay, again, I'm going to turn off my light map baking just to save some performance. Okay, so we drug the stamp in. Okay, so that's a good start. Okay. I want to raise and flatten the stamps so that the height of 6. Okay, so there's some settings for height and ground base. So we want the water to be visible. Oh, no. Okay, so we want the height. There's some nice water in there. Okay, and then unselect ground base. Okay. Alright, so we got some visible water. Click stamp. Alright, so we're going to click stamp. And going to bake it out. And it looks like we're actually going to get our terrain. Okay, so preview button to hide the preview mesh. Okay. Okay, alright, that works. Alright. Alright, so we're going to add a new feature. We're going to preview from the mountains directory. Okay, let me make sure I read this right. So we turn the preview back on, okay? And then we're going to drag this mountain stamp on the stamp preview. Okay, so let's go to mountains. Okay. And we'll put that here. Okay, alright. So we're going to resize, reposition, and rotate, and put it where we want. Okay, so I'm going to play with it for a little bit. So I'm going to rotate it, I'm going to scale it down a bit, rotate it. Okay, and I assume I can just hit preview again. Oh, I need to hit stamp. Okay. Okay, very cool. Alright, well I probably should have done that differently. So there, see this undo button here. I wonder if that's gonna, okay, alright, so let's try that again. Bring this one in, turn preview on. Okay, and this time I'm gonna position it to where some of that doesn't clip so deep. Okay, so I'll stamp that and preview. Oh yeah, much better. Oh, very cool. Okay. Alright, so that makes sense. Yeah. Time to wrap this up. So, but this time we're going to do the spawning manually. So, put 2 under spawners, then select coverage. Okay. So let's go back to standard. Create spawners. Coverage and texture spawn. And click spawn. Spawner. Okay, so I want to expand this. Coverage, texture spawner, and spawn. Alright, so we're going to let this bake. Go back to here while that's doing that. Objects and spawn. Okay. Alright, I'm going to pause this while that bakes. Okay, so our spawning is done. So let's take a look at our next step. Okay, so now we're going to click the coverage game object spawner and click spawn. Okay, so we're going to go back to Unity, game object spawner, and we'll spawn that up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this again. Okay, so we have gone through our second set of spawning, so let's go back to the docs. So the next thing we're going to do is create the player wind and water. So we'll click that. Oh, pretty. Very pretty. Okay. So we got that done. Select GX, install procedural works. Okay, so we'll try this again. Procedurals. Okay. Yeah, deferred, create, set. Okay. So set deferred lighting, create camera effects, and set afternoon light. Okay, so we've done that. Yeah, okay. So let's click play and explore. So once again, the frame rate may drop again because I'm using QuickTime and it is not a GPU-based screen capture. So if it gets a little choppy, that's probably why. Okay, so wow. Oh, that's gorgeous. Let's see how deep this water is. Oh no! I fell into the water, but that's okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this. Let's go back to the hierarchy. Let's find the camera. That's the water reflection of camera. Let's find the player, and let's put him in a better place to start. Let's start, let's say, over here. Looks reasonable. Alright, let's try it now. A big fall. Oh, it's just breathtaking. I mean, for as little effort as I just put into making this scene, that's just breathtaking. Let's see what's over here. Oh, I think I'm about to see what I was hoping to see. So, Adam apparently worked with, oh, look at that, the Village Exteriors pack. That's great. Just great. Just great. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up just the setting up and installation of it. I'm going to take another break here and kind of go over some docs, and then I'm going to do another run through of this, just kind of doing it from memory, doing it from scratch, making my own, and see how well everything I've learned sticks with me. So we'll come back and do that here in a minute.